chip leader yet?
Nope.
No? What about you, man? Hey, who do you think is going to win tonight?
Tonight?
Who's going to be the big winner?
I don't know.
This guy right here?
This guy.
This guy right here? This guy right here. Here, Pops, what's up, man? Who's going to be the big winner? All of us. What's up, man? Hey, Mr. Butters. We are gonna get this lemon squeezed at the Gang Poker's live stream with a buy-in of $200 at this 1-2 game. For this first hand of the night, Pops in middle position is gonna open up the action to $7. He gets the button to make the call, and when it's action on me on the small blind, I'm gonna look down at these two beautiful ladies. This is definitely not a hand I'd like to limp in with, so I grab a handful of chips and 3-bet it to $22. It folds back to Pops, who was the original aggressor, but it doesn't take too long before he lets its cards go. The button also makes the fold, and looking back at the live stream, I was able to see that Pops lays down pocket sevens. What a good fold by him, as he was dominated. One quick announcement before we get into our stupid poker hands. We are having a meetup game Saturday, August 6th at 1 p.m. Hopefully you guys can make it. It's gonna be myself, Andrew Locke, Doug McCusker coming up from the Bay Area to come hang out with all of us. So hopefully you guys can make it. It's gonna be friendly. I'm gonna be chugging beers all night. So if you guys think that you guys can take the title away from me, come hang out, have a beer, and just have a great time. August 6th, 1 p.m. at Hustler. Please be there or be square. For this next hand, Pops, who's under the gun, has put out a $4 straddle, to which it folds all the way back to me on the cutoff, and I'm looking down at 9-10 offsuit. Not a bad hand to have in this position, and given the fact that the whole table's been tighter than my size 40 pants, encourages me to make it $12. Unfortunately, once again, everybody folds to a small raise, and I'm gonna take another $7 uncontested. Gil is now under the gun, and he's put out a $4 straddle, to which, no surprise, everybody folds. It gets back to me in late position, and I'm looking down at ace-king offsuit and make it $12. It folds around to Gil, who is not the kind of player who's gonna go down without a fight, as he repops me to 45. If I just make the call, I'm only gonna have a pot-sized bet left in my stack, which means that I won't be able to fold to many flops. I could just fold here, but folding such a premium hand on the live stream is definitely super nitty and not really good for the stream, so I have no other choice than to go all in. Gil thinks about it for a second and makes the call and turns over a couple of dimes. We agree to run it 2.5 times, which means that we are running 3 boards, but if one of us wins the first 2 boards, then we are not gonna be running the 3rd board. But if he wins 1 board and I win the 2nd board, then and only then will we run a 3rd board. We are gonna take the 1st board as a beautiful ace hits on the flop. Gil flops a set of 10s on the 2nd board, but unfortunately for him, that 10 gives me a freaking straight, and now all we have to do is avoid the board pairing. Fuck. The King of Spades is literally the only card in the deck that can help me, but in my 10 years of playing Texas Holdem Poker, I have never, ever hit a royal flush, so there's absolutely no reason to believe that I'm gonna hit it now. What? What? No! What just happened, man? What just happened? Hell freaking yeah, we hit a 1-outer for a mother flopping royal flush. Jesus. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Please, no. Thank you. Sit down. No, please. Thank you, guys. Really, please keep sitting down. For this next hand of the night, we're in middle position. Gordy has put out a $4 straddle, and since the game's been kinda nitty, I feel a double straddle to $8 is practically mandatory. It folds all the way to Joey on the button, whose tail starts to wag when he realizes all that money out there is dead. He has the same juicy look on his face that I have every time I see your mom, as he bumps it up to $21. It folds to me, and I look down at ace-6 suited. I'm really contemplating a fold here, but I'm a big sucker for these mid-ish suited gappers and connector, especially when I'm not getting a terrible price to play. I ultimately convinced myself to make the call, and now we're gonna go heads up out of position to a flop of king 7-7. Joey and I both checked in the dark before that flop came out, so we are going straight to a turn that gives us a gut shot. I'm first to act, so I check. Joey takes a stab at it with a bet of $18, which is an easy call for me. The river brings in a queen, That's no help to me. I check. Joey checks back and shows queen 6 of hearts. He's gonna take this one down with this pair of queens, but I'm gonna take a mental note that he opened wider than your mom when he found out there was straddles. If you guys want to come play poker with us online, I'm going to leave a link on the description below. Click on it. It's going to send you to this fucking page right here. And then you can just follow the directions. It's myself. There's Branson Poker's in there. Matt Vaughn's in there. And a whole bunch of other cool people. So hopefully see you guys on the felt. For this next hand, the under the gun player has straddled, and I have the option to re-straddle, but I've learned my lesson for now as I decline the double straddle, which is a great thing because now I'm looking down at these shitty pocket aces. Even though I'm clearly aware this is a shitty hand, I'm still gonna raise it up to 16 bucks. Joey on the button is the only one who makes the call, and we're gonna go heads up out of position to a flop of 9-10 ace with 2 clubs. I'm first to act, and I know a lot of you fishes would rather check to try to get our opponent to fire off a bet and then go for the good old check raise, but not only is that a clear indication of flopping a set, but it's also a super risky move when there's a few ugly draws out there. I bet out 15 bucks. Joey makes the call, and we see a 5 of spades on the turn, bringing in another flush draw. If Joey is on a draw, then this is the last street I'm gonna be able to extract value from it, so I go on and bet out 35 bucks. Joey doesn't have any more salsa left in his taco as he is gonna go on and lay this one down. For this next hand, I'm under the gun and I've put a $4 straddle. The opponent to my left has a double straddle, and once it gets to Joey, he's gonna bump it up to $21 again. It folds all the way back to me, and I'm looking down that 10 jack offsuit, and even though I'm fully aware that this hand's not a good one, I can't shake off the mental note I took of Joey a few hands ago when he opened up wider than your mom with that queen 6 where there was a double straddle in play. I told myself that if this spot ever came back up versus Joey, that I would bet this piece of tilapia, which is exactly what I do as I 3-bet this one to 60 bucks. The double straddler folds, Joey makes the call, and we're gonna go heads up out of position versus Joey to a flop of king 8-8 with 2 diamonds. Even though I missed this flop, I've already made up my mind that I was gonna play this hand aggressively versus Joey, so it almost doesn't matter what the flop was because with about 130 bucks in the middle, I see bet to 100. It's a big ass bet that's gonna put Joey in a lot of pressure if he indeed was being loosey-goosey pre-flop. Unfortunately, Joey doesn't want any of this Kool-Aid as he looks down at his hand one last time before he throws it into the muck. Looking back at the live stream, we can see that Joey lets go of a nice suited connector, and if you guys would like to see these live streams as they happen in real time, don't forget to follow the Gang Poker on Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram. A link to their 411 will be on the description below. Now we're on the big blind looking down at pocket jiggities. Brad Owen, my condolences to you and your family for your loss. I mean, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then check out this video right here where he openly explains what I mean. There is literally nothing that happens here in this hand with my pocket jiggity, so we're gonna take this opportunity to have a respectful moment of silence for the Owens loss. For this next hand, we're in middle position looking down at deuce 4. The Kobe Bryant hand is gonna play a bomb pot, which means that everybody at the table puts in 5 bucks, and we're gonna go straight to a flop without any more pre-flop action. There's 40 bucks in the pot, and we go 8 ways to a flop of ace 3-5. Hell freaking yeah, we flop the nuts. It checks to me, and I fire off a small bet of 15 bucks. Greg makes the call, leaving himself only $18 behind, and once it gets to my nemesis Joey, he decides to bump it up to 55 bucks. It gets back around to me, and I see no other move here than to go all in since Joey only has a smidge over 100 bucks left in his stack. It's action on Greg, who folds, leaving himself $18 left behind as Joey makes the snap call and turns over 2 pair. How do you feel? Who are you rooting for?
I feel behind.
Who are you rooting for?
Who am I rooting for?
Yeah, who are we both rooting for?
I'm gonna stay out of it. I kind of have a horse in this race. Fine,
That was so funny. I'm gonna stay out of it.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you.
We agreed to run it twice, and unfortunately for Joey, he does not improve on either board, and we're gonna take this one down. Right, this is where all the magic happens.
That's right.
Look at this.
Gator on the mic. Yeah. You guys got fish poker in the booth. Let's go.
How does this work?
So he basically puts in all the action here. Here's the mic from
he manually inputs everything in
you
here?
hit go, and it's really easy. You hit check and then bet, and got the sizing.
Oh.
It's really simple.
Oh,
Like
nice.
7-3 game, 80, small under pot, long pot.
Yep.
Change the game.
So it's all one big old software.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Well, it's running from this software into OBS, which is the streaming software.
And then this is
Right.
This is just this is the action.
Ah, nice.
You can change the cameras like crazy. A lot to do.
And you do all that?
I do all this, yes.
All the camera changes and all that stuff?
Well, actually, it changes by itself. Like if it goes, so let's say the camera's on Gordy, if it's on Gil, the cameras will change because it's assigned to those seats.
Oh, okay.
So
right on.
other cameras are assigned to the seats.
For this last hand of the night, Rylan in early position has bumped it up to $9. I'm in middle position looking down at Queen 9 suited, and I'm gonna come along for the ride. Joey on the button is also coming along, as well as Pops on the big blind, and we're gonna go 4 ways to the flop of 10-6 deuce with 2 spades. It checks to Rylan, who was the original aggressor, and he fires off a bet of $14. I make the call with my flush draw. Joey also makes the call, and we're gonna go 3 ways to see a 3 on the turn. Rylan fires off another bet, this time to the tune of $21. I'm getting 5-1, which is barely on the cusp of being a call, so I indeed go on and put in the chips. Joey also makes the call, and we're gonna go 3 ways to see a 9 on the river. Rylan must have seen a cop because he slows the F down. He puts in a check, and that, my fellow aquatic friends, is a sign of weakness to me. Maybe Rylan was on some sort of picture cards and has given up. I feel Joey isn't that strong, but just might have the best hand here, so I think a big bet would do the job. So I go on and slide in a bet of $100. Joey is in the tank for quite some time before he ultimately makes the fold, and to my surprise, Rylan makes the call and turns over 10-4. This son of a biscuit had me read like a book, and he's gonna go on and take this pot down. Nice hand, sir. All right, fishes, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to go on and watch these live streams in real time as they happen, go follow the Gang Poker. I'll go on and leave a link on the description below. Click on them, show some love to me. If you haven't done so already, click that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.